Welcome everyone to Eldora in the Elite iRacing Truck Series. Tonight we have the Dallas Myhan Dirt Derby here. What do we have? Like 19 trucks here tonight at Eldora, and I know we have a lot of guys in the field that don't have a lot of dirt experience, but you see the guys that do have a little bit of dirt experience usually rise to the top in a race like this. I'm Justin Krasneski here tonight along with Vic Bloom. We've passed the halfway mark of the season. Chad Frankenfield, Levi Zielinski still the top runners in the points, but of course, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Joshua Adams, yeah, him. He's always a favorite, for a long season. I think Jesse Pierce is up there in the points as well. Vic, we kind of shy away from dirt races as oval racers mostly, but tonight we're obviously on the dirt. So what are you looking for from this 100-lap event?
Well, first off, I didn't even realize it was 100 laps. But secondly, I honestly, I think that tonight's race is going to produce a lot of, we know it's going to cause cautions because these guys aren't any more used to dirt than the next guy is. But I think the thing that's going to surprise us tonight is probably how good maybe the race is going to turn out. Maybe we're not expecting it to turn out as well as it's going to be. I think that's what's going to surprise us.
I agree. I think a lot of guys have put in a decent amount of practice, obviously, with SWA putting their trucks 1, 3, 5, and obviously Trevin Roby has some dirt experience and a couple other guys in the field. I think that they're going to put in a good race, and the issue is going to be, some of the restarts, some of the guys maybe towards the back of the pack. If they can ever get their trucks, fully under control and put some nice laps together, I think they'll be, we'll see a good race up at the front once we got the track start to wear in some different lines for them a little bit. But I think it's going to be a little bit of a tiptoe for maybe the first 25 or 30 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to go through the starting grid here, and Brian Long starts on pole, Joshua Banks starts second, Alex Bell third, Trevin Roby in fourth, and top five rounding out is Jacob Plank, and joining him on the third row is Billy Kroska. Logan Simmons seventh, Jesse Pierce eighth, Justin Kolb and Chad Frankenfield round out the top 10. I'll let you get the next 10.
11th is going to be Rusty Capel. The top 10 trucks qualified tonight. Vic, Rusty Capel starts 11th. Joshua Personette 12th. Joshua Adams 13th, a little farther than we used to seeing him in the pack. Levi Zielinski 14th. Corey Walters 15th. Marquis Smith 16th. Alex Karpowicz.
Karpowicz.
I'm never going to get it. I'm just going
to... It's okay. I used to call it Alex the 72 truck. It's okay. It's all good. Anyway, last...
Him. He's 17th, and Mikey Corbin's going to round out the field 18th tonight.
A couple trucks not start this race. I believe 3 trucks didn't start this. Green flag's out here. Brian Long leading into turn 1. Everybody's pretty side by side. Single file, the top 3. 3 wide, Logan Simmons to the bottom. 4 wide, William Kroska. And he makes that move work. Logan Simmons moves himself up 3 positions, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in one corner.
Interesting here. Banksy's run the very outside where Brian Long is kind of experimenting from the pole. He ran that first lap on the very bottom. I'm wondering if he's afraid because there's no cushion that's built up. We had the track state reset tonight prior to the green flag. If he's worried, he's going to go put it in the fence early.
I know in practice, a lot of these guys, the 29's into the wall. Hard caution's out.
Yellow.
He just darted into the wall.
I look back there, got a lot of guys in that one.
Yeah, let's take a look back at what happened. See, he just barely... he gets half spun by the 4 and just turns it into the wall. 15 involved, 97, 29, 23. Most of Rebel Racing, actually. The 28 as well involved hitting the inside wall by himself. 29, I think that's going to be the night over. It's just... it is impossible to stop here. They were talking early in practice about how there was no way for them to get on the brakes. It's just not possible.
Like, if there is a spin in front of you, your best chance is almost sometimes, Vic, to just gas it up, turn left, miss the truck in front of you, and then worry about saving it once you're past that. You got to miss the truck before you can worry about any of that.
Yeah, and of course, nobody's going to make pit stops here because I don't think you have to at any point in this race. I don't think you can even get tires or fuel.
Yeah, you cannot get tires or fuel or tear-offs or anything like that in a dirt race with these trucks. The only reason you'd come to pit road, I guess, is if you had some damage that was, being a dirt race, I don't even think you'd really want to repair damage necessarily unless it was, hurting your performance to the point that you couldn't, perform or you were going to have a motor issue or something like that.
Yeah, like the 29, he's going to be on pit road. I think he might have even disconnected, but...
Unfortunately, Kruska's night's done, it looks like, early.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's product of this, and they're gonna be these are quick yellows here. Very, very quick. Already gonna be getting ready to go back to green flag racing. I don't even think we're gonna get any caution interviews in tonight, to be honest.
We're gonna have a rough time with that, I guess, but
that's
ready
okay
for a restart.
It's okay though. Green flag's back out.
See the knock it going all. The 75 is going to run into the back of him. It looks like they're going to be 3 wide again off of turn 2. Here comes Logan Simmons. Oh, he's
into the
fence.
wall,
He had
though.
a great run.
And everybody scatters to pass him. They're 4 wide, passing him. 3 wide now, 2 wide. Everybody trying to figure out where their lane is going to be. 3 wide down the front stretch, 75 to 18 and 52. 75 into the wall again. Logan's got to keep it off that wall. He's not going to want to continue running into the wall like that.
It won't really hurt you on the short run, Vic, hitting up in the fence seal. Actually, maybe.
Well, as hard as he's hitting it is what I'm. It's more as hard as he's hitting it. Long term, it's not going to help
front off there and could cause you some motor issues as we go through this race.
He's just going to want to keep it off that wall for now. It's only lap 10 of 100. We're a tenth of the way through this. Man, this race is going to fly by.
I agree.
I was worried that it might be a long race with the number of cautions I was expecting, and it's going to fly by. The 75 passing the 50 on the bottom, side by side off the corner, and they collide. 75 is going to slide job in front.
Good job!
And 75 into the wall, though. Still gets the move done.
Yeah. I'll still do that as much as possible tonight, so we're going to go with it.
That's fine. That's why I said it.
And then everybody gets a drink.
I haven't said it yet, so...
We're doing absolutely in slide job at a drinking words tonight, gentlemen.
Oh, Lord.
Watching Brian Long versus Trevin Roby. It looks like Trevin Roby is getting his truck off the corner a little bit straighter. He's making up a little
4
bit
into the wall behind him.
On the entry. Yeah, Jesse Pierce just got up in the fence right in front of his teammate. Or slide job from Banksy right there to get 3rd spot.
See, farther back, they're side by side, but it's for pretty far back, almost last place. Actually, it is for last place.
Someone's got to have it.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, the 26 is blinking, but he's having a somewhat of a battle with the 15. As we go back to the front, Brian Long still leading. Trevin Roby seems to have gotten this figured out, this dirt thing. Trevin is great everywhere we go, though. Joshua Adams, I think, just had an issue. I'm pretty certain, but I could be wrong. The way because I believe he just got passed by the 23, side by side with the 97 of Levi Zelensky. This is for 12th and 13th right now. And Adams is having a little bit of trouble coming off the corner. Side by side with the 23 and 97 now.
2 has caught Brian Long up at the front.
Yes, indeed, he has.
He's starting to reel in both of them a little bit. These front 3 have really kind of separated from the rest of that pack back at Jesse Pierce, Logan Simmons, Marquise Smith.
Yeah, top 3 have they're pulled away by almost a full second now. '97 getting caught by the 37, or 92 caught by the 36 as well. Sorry.
Or Trobe's kind of a rough spot here, because if he gets close enough to make a move on the 08, if he doesn't make it stick and doesn't make it work, obviously the 36 is going to fill that hole on the outside. So he's got to really plan his move right here. If he even wants to make a move, he may just ride for the time being, but a tough spot when you have to make a slide job. Slide job! I mean, it really takes away your passing options as far as just getting in line.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly hard to pass here. Caution's out. What's the caution out for? Rusty Capel, you said?
It's 23 truck.
I got you. I got you. Yep, I see him backward. All right. I will. Let's see. Let's take a look at what happened. He just gets in there a little deep on the top and just spins it into the inside wall. Unfortunately, he's going to actually lose a lap because of that, if I'm not mistaken, so. But I believe that helps Rusty Capel stay, I think, on the lead lap, so. Lap 21 of 100.
Vic, I'm just getting some word through Twitter and some other sources. Unfortunately, this evening, the NASCAR community lost David Pearson, so our thoughts and prayers here tonight are with the Pearson family and, of course, all of Wood Brothers Racing and how many people he touched through his racing career in NASCAR.
That's terrible. He's not the only one that we've lost today, with Stan Lee from Marvel Comics passing away as well. Tough time to be old and be a celebrity.
I don't know how to take that because, I mean, theoretically, it's probably tough being old anybody, but, you know. Oh, goodness. Anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised with this so far, Vic. I mean, I know we've had, about 20 laps here. We've had 2 yellows already, but, I mean, we've had some good battles. Those front 3 guys were getting ready to put on quite the show there for the race lead, and I think everybody else is just kind of finding their legs as far as what they need here tonight to compete.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really think they're getting ready to go back to green flag here.
Our Brian Long has chosen the outside line this time.
Well, it is the preferred
really
line.
well. Yep.
And green flag back out, side by side through turn 1.
Do it on the bottom yet. Oh, 75 just put the 50
and the 75's around into the 18. Oh, Logan.
From the 75 truck, unfortunate.
Let's take a look back at that one. Just continue sliding up the track right into the 50.
Fortunate, but you know, it feels like these trucks on dirt sometimes are just ping pong balls and you just bounce like that and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's how I think a lot of people would describe it.
I'm looking at here, Marquis Smith has driven all the way up to, about 6th place from 16th on the grid, so one of your guys there, I mean, it's tough to pass here, but he's picked up 10 spots here in the first 25 laps of this race.
Yeah, Marquis is actually a really, really good dirt racer. He said that it felt really weird to be in the truck on the dirt, though. So he's still learning. He hasn't done anything with the trucks on dirt, so this is his first time. But yeah, he's definitely one of them. I would definitely argue he's one of the more skilled dirt racers in the field.
Ask you this, Vic, while we have a second. Do you think a lot of the guys that are good here tonight on the dirt might be good next week on the road course just because you're slipping and sliding through those 11 turns at Watkins Glen?
I guess we're going to find out.
I guess we haven't really seen how tonight turns out yet, but obviously...
I'm going to take a wild guess and say that the same guys that were fast at Canadian Tire are going to be fast next week as well. So that means that Trevin Roby's going to drive away with that one.
You have your Trevin Robys, your Chad Frankenfields, your Brian Longs, and so on. But, you know, those guys usually pretty dang stout on the road courses.
As long as Jesse Pierce and Alex Bell don't get together this time.
Another restart for Brian Long on the outside lane. He's going to clear Trevin Roby into turn 1.
The 17 truck diving all the way to the bottom. He's going to slot right in front of the 50, maybe. And the caution is out, and the 17 actually spins it, but I don't think he was the caution. The 88 was the caution. Let's take a look back at what happened.
Just heard a motor blow up. Someone blew up big time. It might have been the 17, actually.
Both 715 trucks involved in accidents. The 75 and... the 15 actually is the one that blew up. The 88, 15, and 75 got together. So that's unfortunate for Chad Frankenfield. I believe...
I talked to Chad, earlier this week, and he said, you know, for all the tracks that we are going to on this schedule, this is the one that he was really not looking forward to, really didn't know what to expect. But, you know, obviously he still wanted to finish all the laps.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate to see at any point to see somebody have that happen to him.
Really upset that Marquise was involved in that. He looked like the only guy really that was making some moves on the bottom and wasn't
He
afraid
was
to chuck
actually
down
his own isolated incident. He spun as the caution was coming out, so I don't know why he lost all those positions. Normally, when that happens and you're an isolated incident, it'll give you all the positions back. But
I guess we get to watch him come back through again. He's back down to like 11th spot, looks like.
That is how it looks. I believe they're going to be 1 to green, aren't they? Yeah. Well, Logan Simmons wanted an interview, but he's going to have to wait. He can wait until after the next caution. We can talk to him about what happened during this caution.
We need like a halfway break or something.
Yes. I don't think that would help any, though, to be quite honest.
Make it happen, Chad.
No, let's not. No stages. Because that's what it would turn into. Let's not do that. No. Getting ready to go back to green. The 08 picking the outside line again, and he gets going. And the 92 gets going almost as well, but still the 08 is going to clear him into turn 1. 50 truck diving to the bottom. Actually, 72 truck following him. 50 truck side by side with the 97. The 17 into the wall off of 2.
We have an interesting dynamic here. It looks like being on the inside of maybe, the second row might be better, but anything behind that, you want to be on the outside because you just can't really find the slot in line if you're like Alex Bell restarting 5th. He couldn't get in front of Levi Zielinski on that restart, so...
Yeah, he'll actually slot in behind, behind Levi, and the 17 truck's going to try to slide behind Alex Bell, because he just made a slide job move to the inside on the 72. Just try to slide up the corner, Marquise. Drive it a little harder, boy.
Full send, Marquise. You got this. We're cheering for you.
Yes. Yeet it into the corner. It's his favorite word, so...
We're already a third of the way through this race. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this, Vic. I think we've seen a pretty good show thus far.
I 100% agree.
Long up in the wall a little bit there. He's got to keep it off of that. Like we saw that last run, Trevor Roby and Joshua Banks will not hesitate to close up on the back of him. At this point, Vic, we're starting to see that cushion that we saw in practice. It's starting to get a little bit of a lane up there where you can kind of put your right rear tire on that and just kind of hold it off the fence. Just about getting to that point now, about 35 or 40 laps from what I saw.
Yeah, that is how it's starting to look, actually. Looks like the track is about half as rubbered in as it was at the end of practice. So I think at the end of this race, these guys are going to have a track state that they actually don't know what to do with, which will be something completely interesting.
He got in the back of Tropes right there. Looks like he just overdrove the entry a little bit trying to make something happen. He's going to be all over him trying to make a pass here in a second.
So while that's happening, Marquise Smith losing position to the 52 of Justin Kolb.
For Kolb, we haven't called his name tonight, but he's up running solidly in the 8th spot. We don't get to see him every week here in Elite Truck Series, but he's done a nice job here thus far and rolling pretty well. Oh, contact up for second place. Banksy trying to clear for second. Gonna be stuck on the bottom. He's not gonna be able to make it work quite yet.
Yeah, no, it looked like the 92 was just able to drive just a little harder off having that top line.
That's that cushion. You can just put your truck on there, and once you get set through the center, you can pretty much just come straight off. And who loves that most, of course, is Brian Long. He's loves watching those guys battle behind him.
Yeah, it gives him all the space in the world to just drive away with this one. They definitely don't want to continue battling. That's for sure. Of course, now we're getting a pretty decent sized green flag run in. Maybe we were all wrong about how long they were going to go without a caution.
And that, like I said, these front 3 guys have pulled away about almost 2.5 seconds on Jesse Pierce in 4th, and then Levi Zielinski and everybody behind him. Looks like about 6 trucks have pulled half a lap on 72 truck, who I will not try to say, and Justin Kolb, of course. But, I think these guys are starting to find that rhythm. They're realizing how hard they can drive it, trying to keep it off the fence and so on. I think we're going to see, minimal action from here.
Yeah, and almost at the halfway point, 8 laps from it. I don't think we're going to see people do anything super drastic now, but I think within the last 20 laps, we're going to see some moves being made that people have hesitated to make so far. Like, some people are going to just straight drive into each other. Let's be 100% honest here.
we're going to see trucks, you know, more slide jobs, more hitting off the fence to try to get a better exit, stuff like that.
Yes, Justin Kolb and the 92 are having a great battle for 7th and 8th. But that battle is actually allowing the 17 to catch right back up.
As we talked about Marquis Smith making up spots early, he's only gotten 2 spots since that last restart after his spin. I thought he'd, you know, make a little more progress up to maybe about 6th or 5th spot. Where
well, he had been. He had been in front of these two, but he got stuck on the bottom when everybody was still packed up on the top, single file, and he just didn't have anywhere to slot in at. Because if he would have tried to slot in, when he had the chance, it would have just been another caution because the person behind him wouldn't have let off. It's smart driving by Marquis. Marquis is going to go down to the bottom, which I don't know why he's continuing to do that, but if he thinks it's going to work, more power to him. The 72's already passed the 52. 17 going to try to get past Justin Kolb and maybe past Alex Kropakowicz. Go back to the front. Top 2 still about even. I think the 92 slightly rounding in the 08, possibly, from what I can tell.
Yeah, it looks like the entry is a little better right now for Trevin Roby. He's a little more willing to chuck in there and maybe bounce off the fence a little bit to get that thing to turn, and I think Brian's trying not to do that right now, but again, catching them is one thing here, Vic. It's going to be if the 92 can get a really good exit and, you know, basically just slide job. I mean, that's basically his only option right now, other than basically just booting the 08 truck out of the way, and which we might see at the end, but I think it's a little bit too early because if he gets back to you, you're gonna regret that one for Brian Long.
Yeah, I think for most trucks, if you get into them, you're going to regret doing that now. I mean, now is not the time you want to be doing that, but as they're catching lap trucks, see where the lap trucks go. I mean, there's one groove for them to want to be in, and you don't want to be on the bottom because that's just not fun. No grip down there.
Long right there.
92 is going to have to go to the bottom as well. Looks like the lappers aren't affecting the race too awful much. Banks slightly into the 88 of Adams.
Great job by the 88 and the 18 truck being aware of the situation and getting out of the way right there instead of making themselves part of the issue, especially being a couple laps down.
Yep. And the 70, sorry, that's a 17. Marquis Smith also getting out of the way. I'll try to slot in behind.
On the outside. He got to the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Long made a little mistake off of turn 2, and that's going to be that. There goes the 92 truck around Brian Long.
Halfway
here.
New leader.
The mistake was all it took.
Yeah. I don't even think those lap trucks were... Oh my. Joshua Banks actually...
Yeah, he's
lagging, but
he's gotten the lead, but I think he's lagged through big time.
Yeah.
I think he's up to 1400 right now. We're gonna have a yellow on the front stretch.
Is that the 72 truck? If I'm not
mistaken. 72 truck. Yeah.
I could tell. That's the nice thing about these guys running a consistent paint scheme. You can tell who they are just by the truck scheme. Yeah, and he just lost it by himself.
Banksy's lagging big time. He's currently the leader, but he has got 1500 pings, so we're gonna see how this sells out.
Somebody's gonna fall through. Well, now that we have the time, I believe we can pull Logan Simmons in. Got Logan Simmons here in the joining us. Logan, you were involved in the caution prior to this. What happened, man?
I was riding the top, and I got a run, and then Josh Adams squeezed me into the wall, and it just... I felt like the truck was good tonight, and it didn't turn out.
That's tough luck. Anybody got a thing for tonight?
I got to thank you for the team, being on the team, and about it. I mean, just was enjoying it out there, and got taken out too early.
That's tough luck, man. Good luck next week at Watkins Glen.
All right.
So we see getting ready to go back to green. See, I can make these interviews work too.
Interesting development. The 36 is scored as the leader, even with that lagging. So we're gonna see how this works here. I think the 92 is gonna be a little upset about that. You know, if the lagging's fine, I don't know how it all shook out exactly. But the 36 truck has been very fast, so we're gonna have to. He's got the lead with 40 to go.
Yeah, 97 on the bottom of the 50. He's going to slide job in front of him. It just slide jump slightly cuts his nose off, though. The 50 of Bell might have actually let off there. I know I would have. It's too early to be causing an incident. That puts Levi Zelensky up into the top 5. Justin Kolb going for a pass on the inside for over Alex Bell. He's going to slide job in front of him. You get a slide job. You get a slide job. Oprah Winfrey's here giving away slide jobs. 50's going to slide job in front of the 52 now.
Slide job.
There you go. Dale Jr.'s giving away slide jobs.
Of course, one for everybody.
Yep, 52 going back to doing a slide job over the 50. And he'll fence himself.
Truck is really, really good in the long run. He's about even with these two SWA trucks for, you know, maybe 15 or 20 laps. But I think if we go to about lap 75 or so, I think we're going to see Trobes have another shot at Banksy up at the front. Unless he burned his stuff off. I don't know what all transpired there, but we're just going to have to wait to see, I guess.
Oh, caution's out.
Mr. Cape hit the pit entry.
Oh.
That caution's going to be for.
Let's take a look at it. It looks like he was just trying to drive it into the pit lane. And he'll bring up the caution. Unfortunate. Hitting the barrels. Joshua Banks still leading this, though. Now that we're over halfway through this, who do you think's going to win, Justin? I know prior to the race we talked about this before we unmuted, but who do you think is going to win the race now?
I still like Brian Long. He's kind of gotten himself a little bit behind there after that mistake off turn 2. Obviously, Banksy and Trobes are in front of him, and I think Trobes is going to be the next best competitor. I think Banksy just doesn't really quite have the long-run truck from what I've seen, but I think the front two are going to get battling a little bit. I'm sure Trobes is a little bit upset about how he lost the lead with the 36 truck lagging, and I think that might fall right into the hands of Brian to make a move right at the end.
Yeah, I can completely agree 100% with what you're saying. Yeah, I would, if I was the 92, I would definitely be upset with how the 36 got the lead lagging. That's it's unfortunate to see that happen, but I mean, Trobes going to just have to deal with it because it is what it is. iRacing scores him ahead. It scores him ahead.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate circumstance. Usually, obviously, I've known Banksy for a long time. When he gets a big pink spike like that, he lives in the middle of nowhere in Virginia. Usually, he'll throughput completely, and you know, you won't have to worry about what spot he was in because he'll be out for a couple laps. But that time, it let him come back in, and he got the lead out of it, I guess. So, is what it is at this point.
Yeah, we're actually getting ready to go back to green. Quick yellows here at Eldora. Green flags back out. 92 and 36 get about even starts. 36, of course, has some momentum on the outside. 92 is going to try to slide job in front of him. Side by side off of 2. 92 over rotates 08 into the 4. The 4 is up in the air. Caution's out.
Trump just made a mistake right there. It's going to cost Jesse Pierce, unfortunately.
Oh. Gnarly crash, though. 4 just up into the air. The 18 and 17 get collected late in that one.
Very unfortunate what happened there. Like I said, that was just a mistake by Trevin Roby off of turn 2, trying to make too much happen on the bottom, and unfortunately just slid off the corner, and Brian Long had to take evasive action from him.
Yeah, I believe that's going to be night over for the 4 truck. And possibly another truck, but I don't know.
Yeah, the truck that hit him was the 52 truck of, what's his name, Justin Kolb.
Yeah,
and he's
Justin
still going, but I think he has some pretty serious damage.
He's in the pits. We'll see if he continues on. But it's unfortunate to see that happen. Never want to see that.
Jesse Pierce was pretty obviously the 4th best truck. He kind of had the front 3 drive away from him and left everybody behind him. I know he's put in a ton of practice this week, and he's been racing with a heavy heart. His uncle passed away right before the race last Monday, so he's got his uncle on the hood of his truck tonight, so I know he wanted to put in a strong run. Just unfortunate to see it end here about 2/3 distance.
That is unfortunate.
The restart, then we haven't called all night really. Levi Zelensky is now going to inherit that 4th spot, which is, you know, like we talked about, the prime restart spot to try to follow the leader.
Yeah, it is. And then you get the 17 behind him. As we've seen, you know, that outside line going to be very, very dominant. That's where all the
Counting out
grips at.
Marquise. All for Marquise. Team Marquise. Let's go.
'92 gonna be able to slot in right behind the 36 times 08 and 97 side by side.
As long as he's gonna try to make that bottom work here, he's gonna have to make one more good
Try a
corner on
slide
the bottom.
job right there.
Slide job. Yep. Good call. Because he's gonna get away here with 30 to go for a little bit.
Yeah, the 88 side by side with someone. He was side by side. Sorry, the 28 and 18 are side by side now. Now it's a 72 side by side. The 23 saves it off the corner and gets a little loose. There's side by side battling. But back up front, Joshua Banks still leading this one over Trevin Roby and Brian Long. Brian Long actually got past Levi Zelensky through that slide job. So the 50 just bouncing it off the wall, doing his best Kyle Larson impression.
How'd that work out for Kyle, though?
Well, you can't get flat tires in iRacing, so
Oh, yeah.
it's all good. 50 gonna be able to get possibly by the 97. No, 97's able to slot right back in front of him. I thought the 97 might have over-rotated in the corner.
92 is really using up the fence here, trying to make up time on Joshua Banks. He's basically hitting it just about flat every single corner to try to get his truck straight on his exit.
Yeah, it was
Off
20,
short term, but you just got to worry about the engine temp.
yeah, 29 to go. I mean, I would say yeah. Now is about the time that I would start doing the same thing if I was him.
Definitely go time. We see the cushion forming. We see the top lane becoming more and more prevalent. If you're going to go, you've got to go. A little mistake there by Banksy off turn 2. That's going to allow Trevin to get right up behind him here off of turn 4. Actually, Trevin's back in the fence. These two are going to slug it out. That is for sure.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. It's going to be a great battle for the end. And 92 is just jumping the cushion every lap now.
Much like last week at Talladega, I don't know very much about this dirt racing thing. Obviously, the entire SWA race team ended up at this truck race Eldora in real life this past summer. But other than that, I don't really know anything about dirt. Maybe you know a little bit more about how Trevin Roby has to set up this pass. I mean, it's one thing to catch a guy and, just slide job him. But, unless you're going to do it in the very last corner, is there a way that you can try to set him up to defend, or is it just one kind of mad dash?
I'm not 100% certain in these trucks there's a way to do it. I know in the proper built cars for these, what you would do to set up a pass would be you would just hope that you can drive it in a little deeper than the guy in front of you and just hope that, cautions, as we say that, cautions out. Might be for the 88. Let's take a look back and let's see. And it is going to be a single truck spin for the 88. That might be night over for him, but no, it's not. But as they're saying, I think the way that Roby's going to have to set up this pass is he's going to have to just drive it to the bottom and slide job him and just hope that he has enough momentum still coming off the corner to continue to defend it. Otherwise, he's not going to make that pass successfully.
With each one of these restarts, I'm seeing that the outside line kind of goes, Joshua Banks goes, and then as we go, like I said, about 5, maybe 10 laps, the 92 starts to make a little bit of ground back. But I think these restarts, having the restart in the bottom, I assume Trevin Roby is going to hurt for about 2 or 3 laps at least, just trying to get a rhythm back on the outside.
Yeah, I agree completely. Let's see, we actually have 9 trucks on lead lap here. 9th truck is Corey Walters. Actually, he's getting his lap back right now, so he will be back on the lead lap. Still have 11 trucks circulating, I believe. I believe the 4 and 15 are off the track right now. One laps to go. It'll be 20 to go on the restart. This race is flying by.
Enjoying it though, I really am, Vic. I mean, for all the kind of scruffy stuff we've seen in the middle of the pack, and every about 20 laps here, I've enjoyed watching these guys learn how to make passes and switch back on each other, and it's been fun.
Yeah, and think keep in mind that this is the first time this series has raced on dirt, and for that to be the case, the 92 gets a pretty even start actually.
That was a great restart by Trevin Roby. It might have been a little bit too good there, as he's actually going to lose second spot. What you don't want to do is lose the third spot to Brian Long, as Brian's not going to give him any patience after their earlier outcome.
Yeah, and the 97 puts himself in the wall.
He's going to have to fight hard here.
Oh, the 92 gets spun.
Yeah, Brian's just not going to, he wasn't going to lift for that one there at this point. You got to go.
No, I don't blame that incident for happening. It's just, I want to see that stuff.
Trove is blown up actually, so his night's going to be over. That's really unfortunate because, the 92 and the 08 were two of the best trucks, and both of them have actually gotten pretty significant damage now at this point in the race. It's kind of brought Levi Zielinski and Alex Bell up into this fight.
Yeah, and I mean Levi, he could very well be, the guy that we're not expecting to be this good on dirt, but he's up there in second place now.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it. He started back in 14th. He's made up 12 spots up in second space. Going to restart in the front row. And, of course, this is a really big point tonight with Chad Frankenfield. With Chad Frankenfield going out about 50 laps ago.
50.
Chad's going to finish down in about 16th or 17th spot, it looks like. So,
yeah, it looks like
big
17th.
points tonight for Rowdy, regardless of what happens here to the end of the race. Even if you run second, third, fourth, that's a 10, 15 point gap that he just made up on Chad. One race again that he was just kind of looking to get through.
Yeah, and actually, as you were talking, the 50 truck of Alex Bell hit pit road.
He must have had some damage with just 8 trucks on lead lap. If the damage was bad enough or he was worried about temps or something like that, restart. Instead of restarting 4th, can restart 7th or 8th. It might be just be a little precautionary, but that's going to move the 17 truck up to that 4th spot, like we've talked about all night. If he can get a good restart here, he might be able to get up and challenge Joshua Banks.
The 50 truck might be over for the night, possibly. Oh nope, never mind. He's coming out of pit road now. He allowed himself to be lapped. So 15 laps to go on this restart. Leader picking the outside lane as if that's a surprise. I definitely can't blame him. And you got Marquis Smith up in 4th position. He'll have a prime position out there on the outside line. Green flag back out. Actually, 17 doesn't get going.
Yeah, Brian's going to slide right up in front of him while he has the chance.
It looked like he just spun his tires a little bit more than everybody else did.
Brian's patience is just about over here. If he's gets a look on Levi Zielinski, I'm assuming he's probably going to move him out of the way for it.
Well, it's 15 laps to go. It's pretty much go time now. You almost have no choice but to either collide with them or put them in the wall, something. Make them make a mistake.
6 trucks on lead lap. I mean, you gotta use the fence. You gotta try to make moves. If you don't make it work, you fall back to 6 or a restart or something. It's not the end of the world. You definitely gotta use some people up now if you have to.
Yeah, I just see a 17 get a little crossways out of the corner, but he saves it. Of course, the battle, that is the focus, is the battle for second. I believe the 36 might have just run away with this one, unless there's a precaution.
Pretty hard, but about 11 laps to go here, 12 laps to go. He's still got it pretty much under control, as he has most of the second half of this race with the 92 truck going out.
Yeah, and like you said, 92 being out of this makes it actually quite hard for anybody to catch the 36. I think the 92 was probably the closest truck to the 36 and 08. Of course, Levi Zielinski puts himself in the fence, as we're talking about people with the number 90 in their number.
Thing I've noticed here, I'm watching Banksy. He's hitting the fence a little bit more here. Obviously, that cushion is building up a little bit. When you jump over the cushion, of course, you pretty much are going to hit the fence when you go over the other side of it. But I've noticed if you hit the fence here with the front of your truck and just kind of slap shot it, that when it comes back off the wall, you have a tendency with the power up to almost spin out, or at least get close to it. So these guys are all doing a really good job of not spinning out. But that's something you got to worry about here in these last 10 laps, is just, looping it accidentally.
Yeah, and these guys just, like you said, you got Oh, the 97s of the wall. But yeah, they're able to use more of the wall. I mean, as it comes to the closing, moments of this race, I would start using the wall as much as I could if I thought I was gaining an advantage too. Caution's out.
Another yellow. One more restart.
I believe that might be for Corey Walters. Yeah, the 18 of Jacob Plank gets into Corey Walters, spinning him around. Maybe one more restart. Yeah, like you said, it's about to get interesting. How many trucks do you think don't lift?
I don't think anybody's going to lift. I wouldn't lift. I mean, especially on this initial first lap here, if you're on the outside, that wall's out there. It'll keep you on the racetrack. You're not going that fast on the start. I would just send in there, especially someone like Marquis Smith, who's, out of the points chase. He's here to win the race only. I mean, I would be absolutely sure that he would just chuck in there and, try to get to second. And then he's got a couple laps to try to find the way to get to Banksy.
Yep, Alex Bell gets back on lead lap. That'll be 7 trucks on lead lap when we get going green again. Probably in 2 more laps. Be like 4 to go. So we'll hold off on interviews till the end of this. I was gonna say we could grab somebody, but it's probably 2 to green, and it's pointless to try to talk to him.
We're gonna get a 4-lap restart here at the end.
Yep, that's how it looks. Looks like any more cautions end it. If I were them, I wouldn't even let off once the caution came out. I would just let how it happens.
Sometimes with the way the cautions fly here with the scoring loops, the moment that the caution comes out, you don't get set till slightly after that. So you see sometimes in C-Fixed at a place like Phoenix this last week, if the caution's going to come out, you dive onto the apron, chuck in there, the yellow comes out, then you worry about, slowing down after that, then once you've made up a couple of spots. So we might see something similar tonight on the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, and 36 going to elect the outside line once more. We're going to call it the final restart, but I think if they get a caution this lap, there still is 1 lap of green that happened. I'm not
really
if I'm
restart
mistaken.
Banksy, he's going to get it rolling very good. 17 got a good restart on the outside there, Marquis Smith.
Yeah, 97 slides in front of Marquis. 08 stuck on the bottom behind them. He'll have to slide in behind the 17 of Marquis.
Three to go.
3 to go. They're 3 wide for far back. 6th position. That's all settled out. 36, Joshua Banks. Just needs to just hold on to this for 3 more laps. Don't jump the cushion. Don't have any big problems. And Marquis as well. He keeps getting crossways like that off the corners, and he's going way too low into the corner.
Run tonight for Levi Zielinski and Marquis. Like I said, both of them started outside the top 12, and they're running 2nd and 3rd here tonight. Great points tonight for Levi, and a great show on the dirt here for Marquis, driving through the field multiple times.
Yeah, Marquis showing that his dirt racing background is very much a help final lap. Marquis battling for 3rd right now with Brian Long. Brian Long going to have 1 more corner to get to him, and I don't think it's going to happen. Drive it in there into Marquis, possibly. And he's not going to get it, but 3rd place. But yeah, Joshua Banks wins this one.
Really good show. I was really happy with that. We saw a lot of great action. We saw some good passing, more than I think even either of us thought we were going to see necessarily. And, like I said, we had, 7 trucks still on the lead lap here, about 8 or 10 trucks still running, so fairly decent night, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. We see the 36 come out of the front stretch, and he's going to attempt to do some burnouts here on the dirt.
That was going to be interesting. He won at Pocono earlier. That was his 2nd straight win at Pocono after winning last season. I know this is a big one for him. He's hyped up about this one.
36, and we'll actually go through the results here. And Joshua Banks wins this one. Levi Zielinski, Marquis Smith, Brian Long, and Joshua Adams round out the top 5. Alex Bell, Corey Walters, Joshua Personat, Alex Karpakowicz, and Jacob Plank running out the top 10.
Trevin Roby, unfortunately, going to run 11 tonight. He was out of the race along with Justin Kolb. All these trucks, unfortunately, didn't make the finish. Jesse Pierce going to finish up 13th in that 4 truck.
Yeah, see, the 36 parked it in Victory Lane. That Victory Lane's kind of laggy looking. It's kind of glitchy.
It's kind of sketch, very sketch.
You wanna do the interview with the winner?
I'll talk to Banks here. Let's see if we can grab him.
I got him.
Shua Banks, Justin Krasniewski up in the booth. You got me.
I got you, brother, man.
You know, SWA tried to put a lot of race time, practice time, I should say, sorry, into this race tonight. Brian Long starting the pole. You started up on the front row in second spot. And a little bit of controversy with how you got the lead with some lagging, but tell me about your race tonight and how you were able to get to the front and win this thing.
Well, I just want to apologize for that. As you know very well, Justin, that I can't control my internet, and I hate that it happened. You know, I like to race for a win, not like lag into the win. But it didn't last the whole race. They were able, I mean, we had racing throughout the rest of it once it cleared out. So, I mean, they had their chance later in the run to try to get back. I mean, I wasn't going to give it up. I mean, I'm in a lead. Shoot fire. I can't just give up the lead. But it was just a lot of fun and it's tough. I'm not good at Eldora, but I'm happy to be able to come out and get a good win here. So this is really huge for me.
I wish I was as, not good at Eldora as you are, I guess. Maybe I'd win a couple at this place. But, this obviously helps you guys in the points after, a couple sublime weeks earlier in the season. But tell me how this outlooks, going forward to a place like Watkins Glen, where I know you don't have the most experience at. But, tell me a little bit about looking forward after tonight and then anyone you need to thank for tonight's race.
Well, we just need to keep winning races as far as I'm concerned. Just so as a team and as myself as a driver, we just need to keep going out and performing strong and get as many wins as we can, or at least top fives for that matter. Just gain up through the points. Thankfully, we had a good night on points, I feel like. A lot of drivers that were key didn't finish well from what I'm seeing, so hopefully we can take advantage of that, and hopefully next week we can jump on that as well. And then I just want to shout out to my team. Great race tonight with everybody. Good top 10 finish for most of our guys here, and apologize for the guys who didn't finish. It feels bad for them, but we all did well. We kept strong, overcome all the struggles, and we're able to come out finishing well. And I thank you guys up in the booth for what y'all do. It's greatly appreciated, and y'all do a good job at it. And thank for our admin, Chad, doing a good job with this league. Just keep it up.
Thanks, Banksy. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
All right, but.
And let's see if we can get Levi Zelensky in here. Levi Zelensky got us.
Yeah, I was about to drink Coke, but hold on.
Well, it's okay. You can chug that Coke while you're doing the interview.
Right.
It was a great race out there. You started far back, and it didn't look like you were going to be too well in this race, but you surprised us. Got second place. Great job out there, man. Great job.
Yeah, we had damage from the start of it. It was kind of crazy. We got involved in that first incident with Billy, which Billy's a good dirt driver, so it kind of surprised me. Threw me off. We had 6 minutes of damage, and the left front was tore up. It forced us to run third gear the whole race, which was pretty decent, but we just didn't have the speed there to catch up to Banks at the end. But I mean, I think we had a strong truck if we would have had full power on it.
Yeah, it was a great race. Justin, you got anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say, obviously, another strong run. I know this has been a place we talked about earlier that, you weren't necessarily looking forward to or had circled on the calendar as, a run where you could run up in the top three. But, with Chad going out of the race early and a couple other guys having some major issues, second place looks pretty dang nice for the points championship and big picture. And I know you're probably happy with it on the track. So tell me a little bit about how this, you can use this momentum to move forward to Watkins Glen and, just keep hopefully building that points lead for the rest of the season.
Yeah, this is actually a track I was kind of excited for to come into because I've had more dirt experience than Chad and probably Josh, I would say, because of the 3 wide. So I feel like we would have had a good finish, and we ended up getting a good finish, even though at first it didn't look like we would. So with this being said, this definitely gives us the point lead going in. So this is pretty awesome going into Watkins Glen, which I know Chad's gonna be pretty tough there. But I think we're done pretty well on our road side, and I've tested quite a bit on the road side that we probably should get a top 5 there too. So this just kind of helps us a lot going forward.
All right, thanks, Rowdy. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Congrats on the good run tonight.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
See if we can grab third place here, Marquise Smith. Marquise Smith got us.
Hey, yeah, I got you.
What's up, buddy? It was a great race out there. Third place tonight. How you want to talk to us about your race?
Honestly, I'm just really surprised I didn't get involved in more stuff. There were some people out there doing some crazy things, and I was just trying to keep it off the wall and out of other people, really.
Yeah, it was a great race. We saw you drive through the field multiple times tonight. You did a great job out there. Justin, you got anything to add?
I was just gonna say, major props, man. You get my applause of the night. We saw you, especially in the first half of the race before that cushion built up. You were really the only guy that I was seeing that was not afraid to run the middle, the bottom, slide job people, you know, any way that you could get. And I know it got you in trouble a couple times being trapped on the bottom. But, you know, tell me a little bit about what in your mindset as far as, you know, trying to make that bottom lane work to get by some trucks that you felt you were better than throughout the run.
You know, I figured no one's gonna find out if a groove works unless you try it, and I figure more than anything, you just really gotta try and figure things out, whether it costs you positions or not, whether you pick up positions or not. It's really all about just sticking with it, committing to your line that you're gonna try and take and try to make it work.
Of course, I mean, you know, I don't think Vic or I either have that much dirt experience, but we talked about your dirt experience tonight, and it obviously helped you out running third place. I appreciate you stopping by, man. We'll see you next week.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
See, do you want to grab anybody else? I know we got a few people in waiting.
Yeah, we already talked to Logan, so why don't we talk to Alex Bell here quick and see how his night went. We didn't really get to talk to anybody from the midfield throughout the night. Alex Bell, Justin Krasneski up in the book. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Well, sixth place finish, stayed on the lead lap. I know not exactly the night you were looking for, but you know, a lot of your teammates ran really well, and I know that a couple of them, along with Trevin Roby, were kind of the favorites coming into tonight. But you know, sixth place isn't too bad. So tell me about your night and what you can take from it moving forwards.
Yeah, tonight was just a night about survival, and we were doing a really good job of that until the end there when Brian and the 9-2 got together. But it is what it is. I was thankful we got back on the lead lap, and I was able to make a pass there at the end to get into sixth. But at a track where it's not my favorite or I'm good at by any means, to come home with a semi-good finish and run good all day feels good.
I mean, you know, long term, obviously, we don't get to see you every single week here in the Elite Truck Series, but, you know, how could you use this as kind of, you know, one of those races that's just kind of a wild card and still take some momentum from it, finishing up in the top 10 and use it to boost you in the future races?
Yeah, definitely. The last 2 weeks here, Talladega and today, have both been really good races, obviously, for us. And we're headed to another little wild card race next week in Watkins Glen. So far, these wild cards have been treating us nice. So hopefully we go there next week and keep the momentum rolling.
All right, thanks, Bill. I appreciate you stopping by. We'll catch you next week.
Anytime, man. Glad to do it.
All right, why don't we grab Chad here before we wrap this up? What do you say?
Yeah, I'm cool with that. You want to grab Chad? Grab Chad.
Frankenfield, Justin Krasneski up in the booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, not exactly the night you guys were looking for tonight. Obviously, 17th place run. Sorry, going to hurt you guys a little bit in the points, but this was kind of a wild card race, and I know you've talked all week basically about not having the most dirt experience, just kind of going in here looking for some seat time basically. But I know it must be disappointing to run, you know, outside the top 15, especially with Levi running up in second. So tell me a little bit about how your night went, and then as far as an admin, the second half of the race, what you saw.
I don't know. I mean, it was interesting. I'm not sure. The finish there was kind of interesting because Banks got the lead from blinking out, and no one was able to get by him at that. So it's really an interesting situation. So I don't know how to look at that as a official or as an admin or as a league owner. It's just it's really a tough spot. I don't really know what to say about that. I know my race in general, I did everything I could to avoid a wreck, and you know, I got caught in the wreck. So
I know, Chad, we've talked before about some of the controversies that come along with a truck lagging like that, and we've seen this before. Joshua Banks, obviously, myself as a teammate of his, knowing that he has some issues sometimes. I was telling Vic here when it happened that usually when he has a blinking problem like that with his internet, he lives in the middle of Virginia, and usually he'll throughput completely out of the session. So I was actually really surprised when I noticed it first when right before that yellow came out, they'd gotten outside of the 08 truck of Brian Long, and then obviously when the 08 and 92 were battling, he wasn't involved in that battle because he wasn't there completely and went right through both of them on the top side and appeared out in the race lead. So unfortunately, that's something we're going to have to discuss here as admins post-race. But other than that, obviously you're probably looking forward to more next week on the road course, Watkins Glen. Almost expecting a top 3 run really out of you at those road courses. So tell me about that. Trying to make up some of the points that you lost tonight as the season progresses in the second half here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have to go after it. I was playing it pretty safe last couple of weeks, but just gonna have to go with the wins now. I think Watkins Glen, if I don't finish top 3, probably isn't gonna be a good one for me. The over, I'm pretty good. I know I'll be quick at Gateway, and we'll see. Richmond, I should be fine. Michigan's kind of that race I'm kind of worried about. But that being said, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Chad, we appreciate you stopping by. Is there anyone you need to thank for your truck tonight? And then, of course, thank you for sponsoring the league here tonight.
Just Brian's Lawn Care, obviously, and then join APS for sponsoring the series. And then thank you guys for broadcasting.
All right, Chad, I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by with us here tonight, and we'll see you next week. All right, Vic, any final thoughts on the Dirt Derby tonight here?
It was a great race. It was definitely a lot better than we expected. Only 10 cautions for 28 laps, not bad.
I think we saw, a little bit of controversy with the Joshua Banks incident, but I think that'll be resolved. Sometimes that happens when you have sim racing like that. I know, sometimes things go weird like that, or you have some ghost pit crews or something like that. I've seen weird stuff like that for my whole 5.5 years on iRacing. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. And, sometimes that happens. It could have happened to anybody, but, tonight it just happened to benefit Banksy, and, not like he wasn't deserving of it. He obviously drove away at the end and held on for the victory. But, any predictions that you have for next week at Watkins Glen, which is, again, kind of a wild card? We saw Canadian Tire earlier in the season. Trevor Roby dominated that race thoroughly. Do you expect more of the same next week?
Yeah, I really do expect Roby just to be the truck to beat. And if he's not, then I don't know what's there going to be said. I mean, Roby has proven that he's great everywhere, so for him not to be good at Watkins Glen would be something else. It'd be something else. And what we're talking about lag, though, the question is now, was there consistency? Because late in the race, the 26 truck was lagging and got removed from the server for doing it. So do you think it's consistency with allowing 36 to keep even continue on, but they removed the 26 late in the race for the same reason?
I guess that's something that's kind of up to the admin's discretion, and whether they decide to go one way or another with that. I guess they're going to have to talk, and in the future they might have to edit the rule book a little bit for situations like that, where it's not a normal racing situation of something happening. It's something that's a product of sim racing that you wouldn't see on the real racetrack. So I think that tonight they're probably going to have to let it stand, but I expect the rule change about maybe removing a driver that's having severe lagging issues in the future.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
All right, Vic, I, of course, want to thank Dallas Myhan for sponsoring tonight's Dallas Myhan Dirt Derby. For Vic Bloom, I'm Justin Krasneski. We will see you next week at Watkins Glen.